Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Gruesome and Grotesque video. Well, for those of you new to this channel, or those of you that have been on my channel for a while, you'll see that I rarely do these videos, mainly because I wait and see whenever I come across a news article or some other bit of information that merits placing it within this particular playlist. The videos that I list here just basically have to do with a very unique set of circumstances. And in a lot of cases, it's tragic. And of course, it's also related to being just so gruesome, like when it comes to what happens to certain people, that I just feel I have to share it here on this channel, at least on this playlist, because that's essentially where it falls under. Such is the case here with this particular incident that apparently just occurred there near Barcelona, Spain. It reminded me, in fact, of my most popular video that I have here on my actual channel. And that's the one I did a couple of years back involving John Jones, the man forever stuck in a cave. It has by far remained my most popular video of all, my most views of all. I'll include a link for it below in case you haven't had a chance to see it, but you'll see the similarities between these two examples, because in both cases, both gentlemen essentially pretty much went out in a rather gruesome way, especially the way that they ended up being stuck within a particular area. In this case, this is a guy that was stuck within, if you can believe it, a large statue of a dinosaur. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the information associated with it. It is a little bit of brief information, but at least I'll try to present as much as possible. So here's essentially what happened. You have to go to an area called Santa Coloma de Gramenet, which is apparently near Barcelona, Spain. And then that's where you'll find this nonchalant Stegosaurus type of dinosaur, like in other words, a paper mache statue. It's apparently quite flimsy. It was pretty easily broken into, or at least gotten into, by the guy in question. But essentially what happened was this. Back just a couple of weeks back, in around mid-May or so, there was a father and a son who happened to go by this statue of the Stegosaurus, and then that's when they noticed that there was a foul odor coming from one of the areas of the statue, particularly between one of the legs. And so there was some more investigation done, and as it turns out, police discovered a body of a 39-year-old man. This is someone that is, so far, has no name, no official like first, last name, anything like that released, although family has been notified because apparently they're the ones that reported him missing, and then that's where they found this guy within the statue. But yes, the statue was broken into. They were able to see what happened, and that's where they found his body within this statue, particularly in the right back leg. In fact, you'll see in this picture here that showcases that flowers were placed near the statue itself, because that was the exact spot essentially where this man was found. So imagine this. This is a large Stegosaurus statue. It looks obviously like non-intimidating, like there's nothing bad about it, but police are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. But as it turns out, this is their theory, or at least based on their initial investigation. Whoever this man was must have been doing something with his phone by the mouth of the Stegosaurus. So he was probably trying to take a picture of it, maybe even have one of those selfie sticks. That's the closest thing that I could think of. But somewhere along the way, that cell phone of his ended up dropping into the Stegosaurus. I'm guessing it must have rolled, or it must have heard it roll through the neck and then through the rest of the body. And then as it turns out, he made a very fateful decision, deciding that in trying to retrieve the actual cell phone from the Stegosaurus, he went in face first into the mouth of the actual statue. I don't know how large this statue is per se, but you can see that it's enough at least for him to be able to squeeze into the mouth. And as it turns out, once he went past that mouth and then into the neck and then into one of the areas involving the legs and then going into the back right leg, that's where apparently he got stuck. And this is again why it becomes so gruesome to just read about this, because he got stuck upside down right in that right front or right back leg. So just exactly like in my video there for John Jones, you'll know that there's a moment there that is just so eerie for me, like the way the poor guy John Jones ended up getting stuck upside down with no chance, no way at all to wiggle himself out, at least backwards. That's essentially what happened to this guy. Once he got into that right back leg, he was completely upside down. There was obviously no space for him to turn around or wiggle his body or turn it right side up. Nothing in terms of moving his legs or moving his arms. I could just imagine probably his arms just on his side, maybe one arm at least forward, as he was trying to initially reach for that phone. How on earth that phone got that far back into the statue, I'm still scratching my head on that too. You would think that if it fell within the mouth of the statue, that at least it would have stayed within that vicinity, but somehow it ended up going all the way, or at least maybe the poor guy thought that at least it went back there, and who knows if it was someplace else. But who knows what happened to him during that time period or how long he lasted. But you could just imagine him once again being upside down, completely stuck within that tiny, tiny space of that right back leg. No chance, nothing else whatsoever in terms of him being able to squeeze out anything like that. In fact, this is the information straight from the police. They stated, "We found the body of a man inside the leg of this dinosaur statue. It's an accidental death. There was no violence. This person got inside the statue's leg and got trapped. It looks as though he was trying to retrieve a mobile phone, which he dropped. It looks like he entered the statue head first and then couldn't get out. Firefighters tried to get in. They cut out part of the statue, part of the leg, but by then, of course, it was too late. All they could find, unfortunately, was the body of this poor man, this 39-year-old man, as opposed to him being alive and having some kind of chance whatsoever. The police did say that they're waiting for the autopsy results, and then that'll help determine how long he was in there. Here's where the timeline gets a little bit confusing. The police found this guy, obviously after the father and that son, the anonymous ones, reported that foul smell. But as it turns out, the family reported his body, or reported this guy missing just a few hours before the body was discovered. So it makes me wonder if he was stuck there for a few days, or in other words, like they knew he was going to be somewhere, but then obviously he didn't turn up, and then when that happened, they waited like a day or two. I don't know. So, like, I wish if someone has more information on this, just let me know. But the idea I get is that he must have been at least missing for a couple of days, and then the timing of it is when they reported it happened to be the same day that's when the body of this guy was found altogether. That'll at least help answer some questions about how long he'd been missing, maybe how long he'd been stuck within that particular dinosaur, and then seeing, how that correlates with the timeline of the guy and the son finding this poor man that he was stuck in there. But yes, I just wanted to share this information because, again, it's just absolutely just gruesome the way this guy, poor 39-year-old man, just ended up going out there inside a statue. Again, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Inside of a statue of a stegosaurus, getting stuck within the back right leg. It's just, again, just a very claustrophobic, just gruesome way to be able to go out. And my condolences again to the family. And then, of course, to this poor guy, my only hope is that during the last few moments, the last few hours that he had there, that he was able to at least find some peace. I myself consider myself to be pretty claustrophobic. Like, I don't mind tall places. I don't mind dark places. I do mind very tight, confined spaces. That's where I get a little bit antsy about things. So I could just imagine something like this in his last few moments. Again, I'm hoping that he went out at least very, very peacefully. But in any case, just wanted to showcase this information once again in this Gruesome and Grotesque playlist. Mainly, of course, once I find certain information or certain articles, that's when I'll share it here. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.